Hi guys. I grew up in Rochester. This place, it's pretty all right. There's a lot of ups and downs. I'm just gonna talk a lot about food. Um, and I'll get into that, but just to address the allegations, the controversies. The last two, Dan and Luca kind of went over it. The weather here, as you'll learn, is it's it's weird. So take their advice, get the proper clothes. Some days it'll just like rain for no reason. It'll be really hot some days, really cold others. You'll have to get used to the snow, especially as freshmen. Walking from the dorms to your class can be rough, especially if you have 8 a.m.s. There's not much you can really do about it. Just make sure you have the proper clothing, and you can walk down the quarter mile and then go into the SAU and then kind of take the inside and the tunnels. So make sure you know the tunnels. The tunnels connect specifically the dorms and then separately academics. There's no connection between them. So I'd recommend you can find the tunnel maps online. So just be aware of that. It can make it slightly better in the winter. And the crime allegations. A lot of I'm not sure what you guys have heard exactly, but a lot of people do talk about how Rochester is a dangerous city. Um, I mean, it's kind of the case with most cities. It's kind of overhyped. There is crime. It's definitely prevalent. You need to be aware of it. But in the area we're in Henrietta, it's perfectly fine. Um, I said like you probably shouldn't walk all the way down to Henrietta where restaurants are, more just because of the distance. But if you have a car, this area is perfectly safe. The only thing you really need to be aware of is downtown Rochester in the city. If you do have a car, just be aware of downtown. Like I would not really recommend walking around downtown. It's fine to drive in. Just be aware at night. Be safe. Be smart. Overall, it's not a massive concern. I wouldn't stress too much about it. Just, focus on, if you have a restaurant you want to go there. Don't be out in Rochester and downtown at like 1 in the morning. So you'll be fine. Now, I'm just going to go over a bunch of different food places that I like. I'm just going to start with RIT first. Everything else, you will need a car for. So if you don't have a car, try and find some friends. I didn't have a car last year. And what I kind of ended up doing was just finding friends, making a time, being like on a Friday night, and we're like, okay, let's go out to dinner. So, but at least for these options though at RIT, I would really recommend the food trucks. They're here Friday through Sunday nights. You can find the list online if you search them up. They're really great. I love Tony Tomatoes. They have pizza. Al dente is pasta. It's great. I love the Ritz pasta bakes. Oh, and also I am picky, just to preface this. So this is just my personal opinion. There is a lot more food that I don't eat, which is great. But like the visiting chefs, I don't really eat a ton of them, but everyone says they're great. They're fantastic. So I would definitely recommend that. As Dan and Luca mentioned, Brick City. I really like Java's. They don't take dining dollars though, so like there's not really a good reason to go there. But if you're looking for like something nice, their hot chocolate in the winter is like really good, and they use like homemade whipped cream. It's great. Artisanos, beans, midnight oils, they're all pretty good. Just getting a quick bite, so coffee, whatever. And also Ben and Jerry's. It's close to the dorms. I'd recommend using it if you're looking for something sweet. It's good. It's kind of expensive, but I definitely recommend it. Now I'm just going to go through a bunch of different cuisines. So for chicken, these are all pretty close to RIT. Dave's Hot Chicken is great. I would really recommend it. They have lots of spicy chicken, also non-spicy. Chick Magnet, like right down the road. It's really close. It's good. I've gone multiple times last year. Wings Over Rochester, like Dan and Luca mentioned, they're a sponsor. So if you come to our competitions, we'll have them. They're great. Wingstop, also the same case, not a sponsor, but they are pretty good and they're not that far. All of these are within a pretty reasonable distance to campus, so I definitely recommend them. Italian, most of these are pizza places. The pizza here is like fine. There's not anything like super epic. I love Pizza Wizard, which is like Detroit, like deep dish style. I know that's probably not everyone's favorite. I definitely recommend it. They are like really expensive. And they also are in the South Wedge, which I'll get into later on. That's an area of the city which is really nice. Well, it's like it's pretty nice. There's a bunch of restaurants and like artisan shops around there, so I definitely recommend checking that out if you have a car or know someone with a car. As you guys probably had today, Tony Pepperoni, good pizza. It's close to campus. We have it every Friday pretty much, so show up for the free food. Joe's Brooklyn, another decent pizza place. They have like thin crust. They're pretty good. I definitely recommend them. Tony D's, it's like a fancier Italian sit-down restaurant, and also Amore, which is at Wegmans. If you guys don't know what Wegmans is, if you're not from the East Coast, it's kind of like the local. I say local in air quotes, but the grocery store here. They have a ton of options. I definitely recommend checking them out. I know that if you're in the dorms, you only have like a mini fridge, but they do have like prepared meals, which are always nice on a crunch. Like if you're finals week and something and there's nothing open, I definitely recommend that. Asian food, I love Asian food. Um, OG Dumpling House, really close to campus. It's great. They have dumplings. They make them in house. A lot of them. It's really good. Sushi. There's a bunch of sushi options in Rochester that I really do like. Poke Sushi is another one in the South Wedge. It's kind of expensive, but it's great. Umai is like a revolving sushi place. It's pretty good. It's kind of like the novelty of the revolving sushi. If you've never done that before, it's kind of fun. Something to do with friends. Yeah, I mentioned OG Sushi Master, another one. It's all you can eat sushi. It's like kind of expensive because it's all you can eat sushi, but it is like legitimately pretty good. I would recommend it. As Dan mentioned, Sing Tao House, great food. I've never been there in person, but like freshman year, whenever I was like, I don't want to go out, I door dashed. It's really expensive. I don't know if I would recommend doing it that much, but if you're like, I want some actual non-RIT food, and you want like, if you have like $30 to spend, I would recommend door dashing like as a treat. But it's great. Tayada has Thai food. I love their flat noodles from there. Szechuan Opera, Chinese place, great food. Crave, they've got good ramen. C has pho. And Tali of India. I'm gonna be honest. There's like not a lot of great Indian places in Rochester. Tali is good. There's also Tandoor like down the road. They're like they're good. They're nothing spectacular. They also have the Tandoor of India on campus as a visiting chef. I'm gonna be honest. Like they're not great. I think they kind of just use like bulk chicken and it's not great quality. So if you can go to the restaurant, it's like definitely better, but it's an option. Now, if you have a bunch of co-op money, you want to just like burn, these are some fine dining options. They are like actually nicer places in Rochester, all very expensive. But if you have some special occasion or something, Nosh, Red, Rue, Good Luck, Next Door, all really great places. Next Door is a Wegmans restaurant. It's Japanese cuisine. I've gone occasionally throughout the years for like birthdays and stuff. You probably won't be going to most of these just because of how expensive they are, but if you have the money, I definitely recommend checking them out maybe like once throughout the year or something. There's a few great dessert places. Cheesy Eddie's is a cheesecake place. It's great. They have during National Cheesecake Day, there's free cheesecake. Hedonist is a dual ice cream and chocolate shop that's also in the South Wedge. So they have a chocolate shop where they just sell all these artisan, expensive, fancy chocolate. And then they have a different store, which is right next to it, which is an ice cream place. It's pretty great ice cream. I really like it. It's quite expensive again. Abbott's more budget friendly, but also great custard. Rita's, it's an Italian ice place where they have like this like Italian ice if you've ever had it, and then they also have this like custard. I don't know how like they make it, but it's like really good. It's a unique texture. Pittsford Dairy, it's this like older kind of ice cream place. They have like this whole building. It's down in Pittsford. It's really nice. The ice cream is really great. They sell pints there. They sell like this chocolate milk, and it's like spectacular. Um, Finally, Savoya's Italian Bakery. I used to always go there. I still occasionally do with my dad. They have cookies there. You can get them by the pound. They're great. They have all these Easter baskets and stuff. I would really recommend checking them out. Finally, tea and coffee. I will not stop going on about Happy Earth Tea. I love this place. I used to work there during high school. It's like this fancy tea shop. But if you're interested in tea, you want to know more about tea or like anything tea related, I would 100% recommend going in there. The owner is super nice. The community is great. It's a great place to chill. It's again in that South Wedge area. It's really nice. And they sell like loose leaf tea. So if you like, it's not like bags of tea. They'll sell it like by the ounce and the pound, but it's really high quality. There's tons of options. It is again kind of expensive, but I would really recommend checking it out. These are from Will's recommendations, Ugly Duck, Winter Swan. I've not been to either. I'm not really a coffee person. I'm a tea guy. But there are a bunch of nicer cafes around Rochester. You just kind of have to find them. And honestly, that's how a lot of Rochester is. There are these nicer places that you kind of just have to scope out. And there's a lot more places that I didn't mention, either because I'm picky and I haven't been to, but you really just have to, like, spend some time, do some research, ask around, and you can find some really great places in Rochester. Now, any questions? And I want to just actually open this up. If you guys have legitimate Rochester questions, food questions, questions about campus, I know that Dan and Lucas said the same thing, but I'm happy to answer. If not here, you can always come and find me or send me a DM as well, though. I'm happy to answer questions about Rochester. Devin? Yeah, that is a great point. Burn Dairy, like my friends and I have gone at 3 in the morning before, not like during, not during the semester, but over the summer. That is a great place. They have just a bunch of random crap, whatever you need. It's pretty good. They do have ice cream. I don't know. I guess it's cheap according to Jesse. Anyone else? All right, Stella. That's a great point. Since you guys don't have a kitchen, I mean, you have a kitchenette that's literally nothing. Like they kind of just lie about that. There's nothing in there. Um, yeah, a sink, pretty much. If you can find some upperclassmen who live off campus, I now live at the lodge and I have an entire kitchen to myself. If you can find someone with that, and ask, they may let you use it or whatever. It's definitely an option, something to investigate. So I definitely recommend finding someone like that. All right. Thank you very much. Now off to Lucas Peters on ops and what they have to offer.